Hey everybody, all right, and welcome to part 5 of our bonus module. Again, this is diagnosing our ER workflow issues so that we can get out on time by getting our notes done faster. Everything kind of rolls downhill, so we just want to address any issues at the top. I would argue that this is probably one of the most useful modules to pay attention to, or useful lessons here, because this is something that is a common mistake of ours just for trying to be helpful people. And the name of this module is Avoiding Unnecessary Secretarial or Non-Efficient Work. All right, and a lot of us do this, especially when we're right out of training. When we're in training, we do it heavily. We've been used to it. And as we come out of training, we carry those habits with us and we do not let them go sometimes. And it creates a big deficit for us in our ER workflow. What we're going to cover in this module is operating yourself as a business. You want to avoid the temptation of doing other people's work. All right, everything here is going to be on this one slide, and we're going to go through it. All right, so again, operating yourself in the business, right? As a business, right? When you're in the ER, as we've discussed, you want to consider your ER time budget. Again, you don't have a limit. You only have a limited amount of time. You don't have an unlimited amount of time. So it's very nice as we're working, we want to feel helpful. We want to feel like we're doing more than what's expected of us. So some of us will go set up our patient's blood pressure cuffs. We'll put them on the heart monitor. And sometimes we even want to wheel them to CT and do our own discharges. And that is all a very kind intention. Those are all very kind intentioned actions, but please also be aware of how time consuming this all is. The truth is there are people who are paid much less than you to handle these secretarial tasks. And it's best to leave these tasks up to them and focus on your main work and your patient flow. That is really our biggest, so to say, task that we're doing, and our biggest efficient task is that we are able to diagnose, place efficient orders, and get patients in a moving fashion through the ER, right? It's just something to remember. You're the captain of the ship and making sure everything sails in the right direction. You are not inside loading coal into the furnace. It's not being mean to not do those tasks, and your main task is being a doctor, okay? That's why there's a system and there's an infrastructure there to support what you are doing as a physician. If it wasn't needed to have techs who wheeled patients to CT or people to start people on blood pressure cuffs, then those tasks might not exist and it would be solely a physician role. But it's not for a very big reason. Now, doing those tasks does, it comes off as nice and all that. However, what it does is it sacrifices your own wellness and your own happiness by delaying ultimately your note writing time. And I mean, you could, just as we discussed earlier, if there's any issues that you feel might be a issue for you, please take a stopwatch every time you start an activity and time yourself. If you notice that it's taking you 5 minutes to set up a patient's blood pressure cuff, you've done no diagnostic, you've made no diagnostic progression in that time frame. Those 5 minutes, you could have written two notes or started about 3 notes. And those are very important things to help you get off on time and offload you cognitively. All right. And again, the note writing aspect of this is discussed at throughout this rest of this course. All right. Here's just a quick list of things to avoid. Loading printer paper, setting up non-urgent patients on monitors and BP cuffs, IVs on non-urgent patients, transferring patients to different beds, discharging patients yourself. I understand that it's important for us to do the discharge instructions, but outsource any signature tasks as much as possible. You don't want to be standing there waiting for patients to sign, finding out where they are, going over to them. Once you've completed your physician's work, I would really urge you to allow others to do what they do best and allow them to do what they signed up to do, right? Again, avoiding wheeling patients to imaging. I know it's nice to see your doctor do that, but unless it's highly necessary, again, allowing those techs to do what they do best and what they are employed to do is the best option. Again, this is not a fully comprehensive list, but just any other actions which someone else is employed to do. Those are tasks that generally will delay your note time, and they will delay you staying in the ER and your work-life balance in general. All right. Thank you guys, and we'll be continuing on here to our next lesson.